way, the link is in the description for the live stream, so you can check their Instagram. But yeah, already happy to be back, and gonna do a little bit of intervals. That's gonna be like a main part, just to see where my stamina is and how I can hold the pace, and then just do some back work. But I'll also already talk to one of the great coaches here, potentially do like a correction training, and like, you know, as a professional, giving me a outside perspective and tips, and basically training me once a week additionally. And yeah, everything else, some of those days gonna be like a gym training and strength and conditioning. Some of it definitely is gonna be boxing individually, and then one time at least training with a coach, hopefully. And yeah, already we're looking around the opportunities. So Thailand definitely has some field for boxing, so that could be a ground for me to do one of my first professional fights, but might be Vietnam as well. So hi Drizzy Goat, hello, I'm back to watch and listen. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm just wrapping my hands now. Those wraps are a little bit longer. I have shorter ones, which I forgot at home. But it doesn't matter, the same idea, as long as you secure your wrists and knuckles. Shouldn't be too tight though. Yeah, it'll be good. Hi. I think those are like 5 meters, or maybe a little bit. Actually gonna take off my watch and use the timer on my watch for my intervals. There is also the kids class happening right on the side, and they're so precious, very adorable. And yeah, feel free to engage in the chat, guys, and ask questions while I'm doing the wrapping, while I'm wrapping my hands. Hello, I hope everything's going well on your side. And yeah, please be respectful in the chat. Please don't spam. I'm gonna start training soon after I finish wrapping. Do a little warm up, and then today gonna do intervals on the boxing bag for conditioning. See where I'm at, pacing, pushing myself a little bit, and that's gonna be like a main part of the training. But for newcomers, just for an update, I talked to a coach. He's actually right here doing his personal training, who's a good personal trainer and also boxing coach. So we might do once a week training together, but like so he can help me to polish and carve my mistakes and the imperfections, and give an outsider's perspective, but also be someone who can push me and help me on the stuff. I'm live streaming, yeah, the live streaming. Kids were wondering what I was doing. Yeah, so yeah, that looks all right. Nice, keep growing, thanks, appreciate it. Where are we? We are in the Trang Sport tonight, which is, well, gym and then the Trang, obviously. Okay, I'll put on the timer. Let me see, clocks. Oh man, I forgot to charge this thing. Well, let's see, it lasts for a little bit. Anyways, I'm actually going to use it for the interval, so at least I can make sure that it doesn't die, or at least it can die when I'm going to do the main work. So I'll just take the time on the watch over there, and going to do some shadow boxing. So there's one thing that I started doing, and I don't know, it works for me. And I hope I make it work even better and more often on the ring. I was train with you. Oh, thanks. You can come to the transport tonight. Throw through, which sounds like one uppercut, like boom, boom, da. Oh, it's not easy. 3 is too much, but like something like that. Jab has to be strong. I'm not a fan of lazy jabs unless you really need to set up something, but I prefer to keep that one here, bum bum, something like bum bum bum, sleep, uppercut, hook, so something like that, okay? And one thing I've been doing is like bum bum, and just to make a step, so if you can see from further, I do like bum, and I just step forward. All of a sudden it's like the left jab becomes left cross, and I found that little thing to be quite confusing. I'm trying to find a way how to execute it in the most efficient way, but usually I think works well on the southpaws because they try to outstep you, and you might end up in the situation when you are like you're right, like exposed to their how you call it? Yeah, left to left cross, and then you are like bum, bum, for example, and all of a sudden you can push away and switch the direction just with one step. It works obviously on the closer range, but so. Chama. I have a question why every time I punch you back, it hurts my elbows. Check if you look at my elbows. I actually have hyper flexible elbows. If I throw my punch fully extended, this is how it's gonna look, and it should not look that way. Okay, so just avoid overextending your elbows. Even though it's a straight punch, it has to be controlled. And if you still do that and it hurts, well, you rather, if you're a new beginner, just need to get used to it, so decrease the load. But if you are experienced, training for a while, and it still hurts, that it might be signs of inflammation. So I suggest you to take a scan and make sure, and go to the doctor and just make sure what is the cause for 100%. Tell me how to switch step like you did now. Okay, that's a good one. It's a part of my warm-up anyway. So, okay, we need a target. So I'll just get the little target. I'll get a target. Oh, great. Okay. So here is the target. Of course you can do without it, but one step is in. Okay, so in this case, it's not even like standing in the classic stance, it's just a drill. So inner leg goes inside, and then you just learn how to switch legs like this first. You know, not hard. Okay? But then in the boxing, it's more like you have to rotate as well. So you're not just doing this. This is like to start. You know, boom, boom, boom. This is like an easier exercise. So you can start from this one. Obviously, do it slowly. Outside hand comes in, bum. Add some punches, and then you can imagine bomb and bomb, 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 bomb. So I just slightly do the rotation, and obviously sleeps at the moment, so I'm more protected. But it depends, because you cannot do it all the time. If you're doing that all the time, you're there, and obviously your opponent's gonna read the part. And this is more like when you work already, when you both already tired, or your opponent especially, and then you are like boom, boom, boom. So you throw a jab, for example. You throw a jab, lean, switch, and then hook. So you're already on the side at that point. Okay. Constantly jumping everywhere. Reminds, well, my husband tells me, saying that sometimes I'm like a happy puppy, which is, I don't think is a bad thing. But yeah, anyways. So quite looking forward to actually work on certain things, because there's things that I can break down myself and point out on the mistakes, but there are plenty of mistakes I'm making myself once I kind of get into sparring. I think there are a lot of things I improved, but there are a lot of things that get back to the old habits, and that's why I'm thinking to get the help from the fellow coach, and so he can help me to actually point out certain important flaws that are pushing me back. Thanks for teaching. I'll practice today. No, you're welcome. No problem. What martial art would you recommend first? I mean, if you want to do MMA, or if you want to raise your kids to be like almost ready MMA fighters, I think wrestling, Greco-Roman, grappling, BJJ, I don't know, maybe any sambo, judo can be a good option in the beginning for kids, and then doing more like I'm just wondering if it's, yeah, so doing some striking like in a pre-teenage period, but also it can be simultaneous. As an adult, it depends. I'm more striking oriented, but I did some grappling, and I probably in the future will do more. The better thing about grappling and wrestling is your head is not getting exposed too much to the punches, and as much for just enthusiasts, the sparring doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't even have to be head sparrings. It can be go shoulder, stomachs. Someone who wants to compete, even on the amateur level, it's kind of inevitable. But yeah, it's a little bit trickier. So yeah, I would still recommend wrestling first, striking second, or both at the same time. Who do you have for Islam versus GDM? I don't know. Can go either way. That one specifically, I'm not sure. The best position to counter a short guy. Well, if you're already a longer guy, congratulations, you have that advantage. On the long distance, you can literally do this, and you're like bum, 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 bum. That's what you do. Or if you're southpaw, you do the same. Literally, and obviously you don't stay on the. They might try to come aggressively on you. Sometimes they just grind through. Obviously, good back off, good defensive, but also having a good momentum, like train that back and forth movement, back forth, just to catch on that cross. That's like the most basic way, and I think the easier one to practice. No, I'm a short guy, like me. Oh, okay. So if you're a short guy, well, you gotta learn how to get in there, and sometimes when they have the very good control, those are the most sort of a nightmare people for us. But the good thing about it's harder to spar with them on the open field when sometimes they're like a very big gym and they're mats. It's different because in the ring ends, it has squares. So at some point, obviously they're going to try to move out the corners, the long person, even if they completely work as the second number. But that's the thing, if you move correctly, if you just press them from not just going like this, but you know, press, bump, throw, stomach. Try to get to the stomach first. Bump, bump, hop in. Don't go too far, don't back off, like gradually press them, but also cut the corner so they cannot escape easily. And once you have them on the corner, literally push them with the shoulder bump, work, because no matter, even if they know how to work on a longer distance, for the longer guy, this is the most uncomfortable position where you're at. So as much as I'm not saying you have to brawl, like, you know, just, it has its own technique obviously too, but you want to press them, and you want to press them until the point where they realize that they actually don't have many options to escape. And this is the moment that those are the cuts where you actually can get your point, apply the most bigger damage, you know, like obviously they're going to try to throw back, but unlike Muay Thai, they cannot do short elbow, so it's going to be harder with the longer hands. So it's going to be easier for you, it's going to be harder for them to land those punches. It's going to be easier for you to boom, go those short, on the short attacks. Do you like these like TJ Dillashaw movement more, or Dominic Cruz? I think like both were great at in their own right when they were in prime. I'm from Georgia, the country. Okay, I'm putting on my gloves, but first I'm gonna drink water. I'm gonna warm up a little bit more on the boxing back. Nothing extremely hard, but then gonna do the intervals. So hoping that my watch doesn't die, and yeah, the intervals work well. You look like an AB from Last of Us Part 2. I haven't seen either of the parts, but thank you. Okay. Obviously, I actually was watching Tony Jeffries today, and I love the guy. A lot of things I learned from him, and I think he makes a lot of sense in a lot of stuff. It's very easy to relax in front of bag, like bam, bam, like, you know, do like flamboyant movements, but I agree with him that it's a bad habit. So even in front of the boxing bag, still keep, like, try to get into your comfortable range. Do the movement you would do, boom, 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 for example. Boom. I keep my hands up. I don't keep them like this necessarily, because if you get a punch like this, the kinetic energy is gonna go directly to your head anyways. So it's better to learn how to just reflect, use your hands as the reflecting shields. I'm head out. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much. To you too as well. Greetings from Costa Rica. Hi. But anyways, so, and another good thing from Tony Jeffries that he suggested is train one thing at a time. Professionals do that all the time. The elite boxers, they are like, boom. Pardon for that. They train their, for example, just a jab, and then like a 1-2, and then they train, you know, like a shorter combos, like jab, left sleep, uppercut hook, for example, and yeah, just basic exercise, basic combos, but adding up with the more advanced footwork, and they just grind. They do the repetitions, like infinity amounts of repetitions until they get very good. And also boxing back is good for conditioning. So when I do like intervals. For example, this is also going to be, that's a good companion for it. So I'm just and in pro boxing, I wouldn't jump that much. I'm just trying to tie myself off and just keep a higher intensity. So obviously, will be way more calculated in the pro boxing. But right now, like, why not? As long as I'm doing training, it's better to push myself on training, learn how to pace myself properly, and then actually on the ring, learn how to enjoy it. Just to make it faster. So we just do slow jab, and you're like, it's too obvious. It's easy to catch you, especially if your hand is not in a good position. But if you use it, if you throw speed jab, fast jab has an accumulator to boom. Like after you throw it, you just let the kinetic energy pull you back, and then you use boom, boom. It's a better way to do it. So again, let's train it. So not like bam. Obviously, you can do that slower just to see it. It's fine. Like 1, 2. So what I do, 1, pull it towards me, almost like I pull and I shift. Boom, uppercut. Again. So now I'm gonna do it faster. Something like that. I'm not a southpaw, by the way. This is good. This is the camera is flipping, so for people who have not seen me before, this is my left hand. So my tattoo hand is my left arm. The naked arm is the right arm. Are you a coach? Yes, I am a coach. I've been coaching pretty much people, amateurs, and I train for trauma prevention. I work as an online personal trainer. I do strength and hypertrophy training, obviously, boxing training and teaching basic technique. I never trained like professional boxers. So right now, it's more something that I apply to myself, and also things that I like watching fights. I like watching boxing, breaking down, analyzing it. And well, I'm just giving away my perspective, my opinions, and well, some people find the use for it, some people not, but mainly I'm sharing my journey here. Overhead left into a right body kick. Okay, well, kick is basically, it's like a leg kick. So, and this is the right, so right overhead, like, bam. You always, on the overhead, you gotta lay down, like it's always, and I wouldn't, like, I don't, it depends how it goes, but this is a waste of time. Too big off the range of motion, so even though it's overhead is the shifted angle, it's not the shortest angle on its own, it still goes, so you should not, boom. I'm not a fan of pulling your arms back of your body, no matter what happens. I already have shorter range, so that is, I don't have that luxury. So I always try to keep shorter punches from try to get that range, which is hard to get, especially against tall people, but that's what we can do. And then overheads are also like boom. So what I do is like from this angle, boom, boom, boom. So I don't open up too much when I do the overhead. My husband is here, Chris, Aiden Chris, and he says behave or you will get kicked off out of the gym. That punching strength depends on raw strength, so good technique. Good technique mainly. Obviously, you can have a good body composition, muscle mass. You know, some people are longer and they're struggling to gain muscle mass when the more compact, shorter people usually are more jacked. So it has its own stuff, but yeah, the kids having a combination, so I don't want to mess up with them. Anyways, so in this case, strength, yeah, you can have your natural genetical stuff, and but also technique. Technique, it's basically creating power through velocity. This is how you learn how to do it. So you might be very strong on lifting weights, let's say a deadlift, but if you don't know the technique, how to create that power through velocity, your strength doesn't have that much of the use. And also it slows you down. So someone who is less strong but faster can generate better power through velocity, and they're also more sharp in the punches. They're just gonna outbox you and wear you off, and you're gonna keep getting slower, and this is how it works. And can you do a 45 angle left hook? I think that is my habitual one. So left bump. So this is like a 45 degrees. It depends where you are. This is middle range. This is like a closer range. So it's like, as I said before, if you just go like this, it's too obvious. But if you're like throwing jab, so straight after jab, you throw the jab, you pull it back, already heavier, so you kind of get used to this movement, pump, pump, and then it works better. It's something that I struggle with, not getting hit after hitting them. Muay Thai amateur, they struggle with not getting hit because they're hesitant. Did I understand it correctly? Well, then work in their lower pace. If you have someone who just cannot pick up the pace with you and they're getting more and more hesitant and they don't know, basically get lost, it's your responsibility to help them. So to pace yourself down, work slower, let them get more comfortable, and then you can increase, and then you both can actually learn something. Okay, but we're gonna go speed ups now. So I'm gonna try to see where's my phone now. Well, it seems to be okay on charge. I'm gonna do some few intervals, just for conditioning. That was so helpful, thank you. I mean, I'm trying, thank you, I appreciate it. You're welcome. Should I have a watch in front of me, so with the timer, so I just might do that. I hope guys you can hear me properly. How long are your intervals? I'll have 30 seconds for now. You can go longer, and it doesn't have to be only a boxing bag. It can be running on the treadmill, anything that can give you a comfortable, like you can do it and then stop and rest. So now we're doing boxing back. Again, it can be longer, but the longer time goes, the more you have to pace it out. In this, it's more like a burnout now. For 30 seconds, I'm gonna just pace it in my own way, and I'm gonna start it in 20 seconds now. Где тренировка проходит? Where's the training? They're asking. It's на Trang Sport tonight, and you can see the link in the description of the video. Okay. Okay, this is the pure conditioning. There's not going to be much technique here. Just 3, 2, 1. Okay, 30 seconds rest. You see how I started fast and I burned out. So I'm gonna keep doing it. 20 seconds. From France, hi. That was first one. Five. And time. Another 30 seconds. Because it's a burnout, it's better to start optimally and then, even if you have to slow down, it's fine. Few seconds. 5. That's the third one. Okay. Okay, going on the fourth one, 20 seconds. Five seconds. One, okay. So, you see my short, my distance gets shorter. I try to go longer, but it slows down, so I can rather go slower or I can go closer and try to keep the pace. But you want your hands to get used to fully extending. Few more seconds. I think for this is gonna be the 6. Okay, that was freaking 6. Whew. Your shadow box, yes, but not right now. I'll try to do 10 total, so now it's gonna be at 7s. 10 seconds more. Three, and go. All right. That was 7. I have 3 left. Boxing. I'll try to punch harder after, okay? Okay, 10 more seconds. You can check. You can say hi. Okay. You see, I'm not doing this. I'm still trying to aim high. Different pace. Okay. 2 more left. I'm already married, but appreciate what an offer. Okay, 2 more left. Ten more seconds. 5. 1. Burning. And 1. And then burning. For damn sure. Okay. Last one, 4. It's gonna be like a 10 burnout. And it's not a bad thing to start for. And you can go faster, but it's about how you pace yourself too. 3, 2, 1. Now I'm gonna do my best. Okay. Okay. I'm joking. You're not playing after this one. Boxing is life. Good workout, yes, but those punches will be a massage. Well, that's the point of the thing. It was not aimed for being super damaging. You still indeed can do intervals, but you can do like a heavier punches. And what we would do burnout, 30 seconds rest, and then we go heavy, like boom, 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 like with a full inertia. I'll do those too. But right now, this is, if you want boxing conditioning, gradually start building up, just start it. Even if you're slow, if you're not that powerful, and you have to compensate your power because of, keep that speed and pace up, that's all right, because that power is gonna come through technique. The endurance is gonna come and get better, but it just lays on that one. You gotta do it. What accent is this? Eastern European. Almost. I'm from Georgia, but also fluently speaking both Georgian and Russian languages. So I guess, and I'm self-taught. I learned English in 2020 when I was 20 years old by myself. So I was trying to speak like generic American English, But well, here we are. Just a confusing. Ended up to having a confusing accent. So cardio then. Well, that was a cardio for me. And the only thing is, okay, I rather can increase the amount, but I would stick to 10. Basically, it's like a 10 minutes, which is not bad. That's basically 5 rounds of a professional fight. We're like almost non-stop if you don't count 30-second rest in between. And what I would focus on instead of increasing amount of time, amount of reps, sets. I mean, I would stick to 10, and I would just try to get better at it, just faster, more powerful. You know, be able to generate that power and not burn out throughout those 10 rounds. So this is what I would do. But you can always increase the amount of sets as well. I knew it. Your English is actually really good. Thank you. I love languages. That's my brain training. When you know what, if you choose to get hit occasional in your head, essentially, you gotta train your brain. Make sure it's hydrated. Make sure you don't do stupid unnecessary sparring, like heavy sparring that, like every small concussion can contribute into your health damage. So yeah, languages is one of the things that I practice. I love languages. So far it's just been English that I learned quite successfully, but I'm looking forward to pick up a couple more languages at least. Will be fun. Have you had any fights? So are they posted? They're not posted because it was amateur, but it was amateur. I was in Dagestan in the competition, and one was obviously Georgian competition when I won, and then in that thing I was not old enough, so they put me in sparrings with the same women that were fighting, and some of them were like very, very good, like the champions. So I lost to 2, and then I won 3 fights total, including my Georgian championship, and this is my official record, an IBA. Like I even lost the passport. I don't have it anymore. But then I had like open ring sparrings and like that kind of competitions. They're non-official, but good for practice. So if you want to know about my experience, like regarding if I ever been hit properly to my face and experience like a heavy sparring or fight, yes, I did. And now I'm looking forward to do that completely different way. By the way, I'm gonna get back on I'm not done yet. I'm gonna now work on certain combinations on the back. Just the cardio part is done. But all I'm saying is, kids are like monkeys here. Look. Oh, they love that one. Actually, I'm wondering, is it I think that my skipping rope that I forgot when we went back to Georgia. I was looking for it everywhere, and I think that's the one, because I don't remember they had a blue skipping rope. Oh, I'll check it up later anyways. But the point is, even though you are used to punching and sparring, and you know you can take the punches, throw the punches, if you don't have stamina, if you don't have endurance, that's like a number one to me, and I think to a lot of people, because if you feel comfortable pacing it, you might not be the most powerful boxer, you might not be the most technical boxer, but you can have a basic technique, good technique, defense. Then footwork and stamina goes together, because if you cannot move easily and light and just boom, if you cannot do that throughout the rounds, even if you don't have to, but against some opponents you will have to do that. If you cannot do it, then you don't have a good enough stamina, right? So footwork, stamina goes together, and obviously hands also. The less they get tired, that's why this kind of trainings, you can do shadow boxing like this with some dumbbells. That also helps. Everything to basically be more endurance. Like those conditioning exercises are for you just to be able to pace it, be able to endure high pace, high pressure, and basically survive and win. Did a lot of boys have crushes on you back in school? I was a nerd. I was wearing glasses, but let me tell you, I was not the best looking. I was definitely not glowing. I didn't have a glow up in my school or even at the high school. I think right now I looked at the best, and this is the best you get from me. But I think I was acting the way that I didn't like to take bullshit, and as much it was, you know, a lot of like the cool boys and cool girls, I would just refuse to play their games, and I would do my stuff, training, art, this and that. Sometimes being a nerd, sometimes being, well, I defended a couple times myself quite physically in the school, so it's kind of gave me a little bit of respect. So people at least knew that they couldn't mess around me, even though I was still a shy kid. But when it went down to like a really bullying, really trying to bully me or someone else, I wouldn't put up with that. And there was one situation when there was this guy who was like playing guitar, like super cool, a grade older, and he was like, everyone had a crush, all girls had a crush on him. And once he kind of blinked at me, kind of like, okay, here, you are the new girl, I'm like now give you a little bit of my attention, like just with my nerdy glasses looked at him and just like went in my class. And that kind of resentment. Then apparently he had a crush on me for some time. Not a crush, but just because I wasn't treating him like others. But you know, those high school dramas, this is how it works. People say you're gonna miss the school times. Not really. It wasn't a bad time, it wasn't a horrible time, but my life is so much better, so much more interesting and full of adventures and full of amazing people and goals right now rather than it was when I was in high school. So I definitely didn't glow up. I didn't peak at my high school. Bro, while you're posting mean things about her, she's beautiful. Sitting at home commenting on her live stream. I didn't even see who said, so I don't know. Thanks for standing up for me, but I didn't really see. Okay, Becky Lynch, yes, thanks guys. You owe confidence and respect though, and nerds are cool. Yeah, nerds are cool. In a nerdy way, but we're cool. I took off my braces. With my braces and my glasses that I usually wear only at home, I'm like a super nerd, and I'm proud of it. That's just me. What country are you in? Vietnam, the Trang city. The link of the gym is the Instagram link under the live stream description. While practicing with my mate, it's difficult to dominate him because he was advantage on his height and we can go aggressive or in full potential, but that's not good. Again, today I was just watching Tony Jeffries' video. I love the guy, I really respect him, learned a lot of stuff from him as well, share a lot of his opinions. And one of the things, he has this video, he uploaded, just look it up, how to spar and how to actually get better and how to not get the brain damage. So he brings up a lot of things about the health too. And this kind of stuff, when you have, he says, before stepping on sparring, two things. Put your ego away or right in your ass. That's one thing. And the second thing, you're gonna have a good, don't spar with everyone. Spar with only with people you can sit and actually communicate. You are better than me, or you're more experienced, or you have bigger age. I want to train this specific thing. So you train, you can still do a super good sparring, super fast, like a full replication of the fight, just not because if you become a boxer, an actual competitive boxer, one thing you learn is to control your punch. I can go boom, fast and powerful, and I can go as fast and maybe even faster and not that damaging. You know what I mean? And this is the power you want to use for sparring, because you gotta do head sparring if you want to compete. If you don't want to compete, just do shoulder sparring. You don't even have to do head sparring. But if you want to compete, do it this way. And do the catching, boom, boom, boom. You can go harder on the core, that's fine. Like, go harder on the core, boom, and control it. Yes, it's not perfect, but it's better to do it common most of the time. It's close enough to get into the fight. And then, yes, sometimes, very rarely, and also for people who maybe have less experience, you can do a little bit heavier sparring just to kind of see where it is. And even there, you don't go full knockout. It's more like boom, boom, boom. You maybe land 3 strong punches, back off. Let your opponent recover from that, or continue after you see that you landed strong punches on your opponent as a sparring partner. Keep throwing those punches, but in like faster, but not the harmful way. So it replicates the pressure after they got a couple strong hits, but it's not like you try to kill them. I understand it happens to people, it happens to all of us, and I'm not really aggressive type. I always try to let you work too, but I have to. I have the situations where I'm trying to tell that let's just cool it down. We're trying to learn things. And they just, some people see it as a weakness, and then they're like, oh, come on, what you're talking about? And they punch you harder. And you're like, okay, you asked for it. But that's the wrong way. That's the wrong attitude. And most importantly, for the long-term health, it actually can be detrimental. You're Georgian, yes. I am Georgian. How's your training going? Yes, it went well. 10 rounds, but 30 seconds burnout, 30 seconds rest. Not bad for the beginning. Gonna modify more, but gonna do a lot of more conditioning on the back. That's one of the main focuses right now. I sparred a couple times in Georgia. I saw where I am. I'm not that very back spot. I actually can take the punch. I can punch back. I can orient. But what I'm lacking is conditioning, and this is the main focus. Also, along with the strength, I'm gonna hit some couple or 1 day of the strength training, lifting to just improve my strength, or grease the groove more consistently, all the kind of stuff. But a lot of burnout on the boxing back, a lot of improvised, like lighter sparrings, but like a high tempo. I'm gonna talk to the coach An, who we might do once a week to work, and he can help me also to get better at it. But that's pretty much the plan for now. And then I'm gonna try to look for opportunities to have my first fight, second, third, like look into opening my pro record. All right, so you know what? Let's get back to the bag. Okay. And now I'm gonna work on the certain combinations. Nothing extraordinary, just working, repeating certain stuff that I do and I like doing. And I'll look into comments and gonna try to do something that you asked me. Shadow boxing effective. Yeah, absolutely. And you also can do conditioning trainings for shadow boxing as well. If you grab a couple half a kilogram dumbbells and you do like the same burnout, good. Yeah, why not? But I still prefer boxing bag because it's still punching. Even though you're not punching full force, it's still punching. And as I said, you can modify it. For example, I'm not gonna do now it all over, but I'm gonna show you, like we would do, for example, 20 seconds. You can also do 20, 20, 20. So 20 work, 20 rest, 20 work. And then it's like continues like this. So we would go like as fast as we can, and then rest 20 seconds, and it will be like through my entire body movement, and trying to generate that force, and we would do it that way. That's it's a little bit higher level. It's a little bit more difficult to do, and as I said, I started from the easier thing where I knew I could just speed up and just see where my conditioning is and how I can pace it. But I'm also gonna do burnouts like that as well. Okay, throw straight punches, not roundhouse. Try to throw in angles. Move punch. Try to throw in combination, not a single, unless it's clear hit. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so boom. What I like to do, not everyone likes to do that, might not be useful for everyone, and we'll see. Maybe that's something I need to work on, but I like to leave, sometimes at least it helps me. So I would do 1, 2, and hop in, and I just throw that punch out there just to, sorry, I'm just gonna put that in a better angle so I can do like, you know, like, and sometimes even when with my feet I'm not on time, it also can help me to push away from the opponent. But it works better for the taller people, I can tell you almost that, because most of the time if I get there, I would want to kind of get in and, you know, bum, 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 bum. So it depends. Like I would go all the way to, or even 48, just a minimal weight. So I don't have to deal with way too taller people, and they can be averagely at my height or slightly taller, which is fine. But even with those, as much sometimes you can do exchange like that, ha, and like, especially if they're tired, and you do like ta ta. It's simple. It works in the situations, but it also makes sense to press them. Like as I said, it depends on the tactic. Depends on what is my plan, what is my team plan against what kind of boxer. If they also like to brawl, if there's someone my size, maybe even taller, but they love to brawl. They're known for brawling, because usually you can watch some fighters, something, at least training, at least back work, if even not fights, right? So if you see they're like boom, boom, with them, you want to work, you like catch them like this, boom, boom, like very simple. But if someone who is opposite, who is doing the same, they're trying to catch you like this type of boxers usually don't like pressure. And well, you gotta pressure them. You gotta pressure them. It can be, okay, let them throw a couple punches, pump, pump, pump. Try to get like this, how you call that, the pivot in jab. So you're like pump, 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 pivot in jab. You don't have to really waste too much energy. Let them throw those punches. Get them on the hand, boom, like boom. Go to stomach. Their stomach is usually exposed and it's in a good range. And once you grind it from the things, then you can go, especially seeing that they're getting tired, not really feeling comfortable. Obviously, it's not everyone. The higher level it goes, the harder it gets, and that's how we get very great fights where both refuse to give up and just a super intense exchange and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking more of the, like on my level, it's like a basic strategy. Okay, let me see the rest of the comments. 112. Oh, okay, 112. There are two ways how I do it. There's 112. So it's like boom, boom, boom. It also can be boom, boom, boom. So it can be stomach, head, palm. Always can be opposite, but it's too much moving, so it's acceptable. And there is another pace how I do it. It's like bum, bum, bum. So it's like so it's a little pause, and then you just boom, boom, boom. It's a little bit different tempo. When I first saw your training, you looked very different than now. You look very balanced, lighter on the feet, look more mobile. Your core seems much stronger. Your face is sharper. Pretty too. Hello. Well, thank you for someone who saw my channel like a longer time ago, saying that and well, pointing out those things. I appreciate it. That means like day to day, I don't notice those things myself too much, unless someone brings it up, but I appreciate it. Are my weather fights fixed? Well, you cannot call it that. My weather was very smart in few aspects. Obviously, a little bit cherry picking, but not all the time. Crazy Boy Mayweather was tough as nails. He was quite a knockout artist. But then you have a Money Mayweather era, which develops one of the best defensive styles. Obviously, he can go on the fence, but he doesn't have to, because he will catch you on the moment, but then he can keep going on the defense. And you cannot take that away from him, if you know what I mean, because that style works. Philly shell works. It works, for some people works better, for some people less. That's another story. But you cannot call, Chris is Chris was running and my husband was jogging, I think, and he just came over here. But yeah, anyways, oh, that's so adorable. What were I talking about? But anyways, he's not like a Jake Paul picking fights, okay? There is difference between Jake Paul and Mayweather. So he's a class, he's like boxing, pure boxing stuff. He had some tough opponents, but a little bit he done some cherry picking, and he done some very close fights where arguably could go the other way. Got it. It's more of technique and precision. I think it's much more learned, and then instead not like going for random things. Exactly, because you also the harder your opponent goes, and if you get hesitant, you notice that you cannot do those things. And this is Tony Jeffries' words. Like you're not comfortable, and then every time you want to go, you have to spar, you are gaining this resistance. Like I don't really want to do it because I'm gonna get punched again. But that's the wrong way, because this is how. Hey, baby. Good job. You're jogging, huh?
They're around here.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, that's Chris, by the way. That's he was in the chat. He probably jogged. It's like a 30-minute walk from there, so it's quite a good jog. You guys know about Rocky? Well, everyone knows about Rocky. Okay. Do you ever spar? I hold pats. I hold pats for Chris.
What are you talking about? Rocky Marciano or Rocky Balboa?
Good question, actually. I thought for Balboa, like for a second, straight away. But I hold pats for Chris. But that guy doesn't know how to control his punches. So we tried to do just the technical sparring, and you know how heavyweights should work with the lightweights, just very easy. Well, we stopped doing it. Not like I got hit or something, but I'm a coach myself, so I see when person can control and I can trust them boxing wise, and moments where I know that even unintentionally that person can throw that hard punch, which that's a little bit tricky thing. When you spar, and if you want to do quality sparring, do with your weight class. Do with the similar weight class. If you're doing with someone bigger, then give them the purpose, like give them a clear task that they need to help you to kind of work against a bigger guy. And for them, it's good because if you are lighter and you have like a lighter footwork, you're faster, you're speedier. For them, it's also good. So that's sometimes why heavier weights work with the lighter weights in the technical sparrings, but nothing more than that. Because that weight coming, even the not light, but uncontrolled moderate punch is super damaging. And imagine getting it repetitively. And you're gonna shrink, you're not gonna feel comfortable. So like, that's kind of normal reaction from the human body and human brain. That's why you shouldn't only work hard, work smart at the same time. Then you're gonna have a great result. What style do you use in boxing? I'm trying to learn to do more like a pressuring, so maybe even like more like a Mexican style. But because I'm from Georgia, and this is what we've been taught, bum, 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 bum.
It's not bad too.
Yeah, I mean, I can do peekaboo, but anyways, peekaboo is still pressuring style. I still have the habit of, the problem is, I had a problem cutting my weight down, so I was fighting like a 57 kgs, which is, like everyone is, actually who manages to make weight, they're like this tall, ripped, and complete nightmare too. And I'm talking about a fat mass that I was struggling to carry that weight. So obviously that style now, boom, like just catching, like doing some Soviet type of footwork in and out, might gonna work better for me now, depending against which kind of boxer I'm working with. in the lighter weight than I used to be. So that's why 51, 48. I can make 51 just by dieting, no dehydration, and then 48, just water cut, which is okay. Let's say 50, and then 2 kilograms water cut, just to make the weight. Shouldn't be a problem. And then have a right. So the right weight class matters. Notorious eye poke. In the last event, now the fight night, there was another eye poke in the co-main event, and like I think, it's actually funny. Babe? What were you saying about the eye pokes? There was only 14%, and those are doing 60% of the eye pokes, yeah?
14% of fighters and 67% of eye pokes.
You see, so it's certain 14, well, including John Jones and Cyril Gunn for sure. In the UFC, they're like 14% out of the 100 who do like 65% of the eye poke. So if you do the math, it's like, who is the criminal here? That should be erased. It's like a dirty thing that you kind of, oh, I just did by accident. No, you just select that habit for the purpose of carelessness, or kind of, okay, it might work and you don't mind being dirty. Well, John Jones being saying himself that, oh, I know it's legal, but I still do it. Like, sometimes he used to not give a damn about it, and he's been saying it directly.
So what is your question?
Who is complaining? Me?
No, just don't understand the answer to your question. I don't see what the question was, because obviously you know.
What made you start boxing? I started from karate for self-defense and just confidence purposes, and then I moved to boxing, and I just fell in love and continued. Even though I haven't been active, I still did some sparring, and I did some sparring partner work, and I just kept it up. And last few months now, this year I've been focusing on it more, and yeah, just getting better at it. Babe, I will work a little bit more on the back, and okay, yeah. So then we do our stuff. Okay, karate. But by the way, the Goju karate. Do you do BJJ? I've done BJJ for half a year. Then I broke my pinky toe, and I couldn't get back as much as I wanted. I couldn't get back, and then, my life plans changed in those next few months. You know what I mean? But BJJ community, I like BJJ community, and that might be a place I would come back to at some point. Just for fun, just for the community, learning new skill. Again, mentioning Tony Jeffers a lot today, but he also mentioned that now he's doing BJJ just for the pure of learning the skill.
No, he stopped it.
He stopped it?
He made a video about how he stopped
Oh, you really?
BJJ because it's destroying his body.
Oh my God!
And that's the thing with every.
That was the previous video I probably saw because you.
Everyone that knows that does.
Oh yeah, you give up.
They do football and they do BJJ and they end up with fucked up knees, fucked up back.
Well, that's the problem.
Shoulders, elbows.
It's kind of. Do you think it's kind of a similarish as like a boxing having sparring culture, like non-negotiating, when you kind of go light and then one goes heavier and then you go heavier and you just uncontrolled? Because in BJJ it was same. I remember there were a couple people who were really due, and they didn't mind to submit. They didn't mind to tap. You know why? Because they tried to actually learn the movement, how to do the proper way. But most of everyone, they were going nuts, and they would try to force the movement. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what happened to me. Hurt my knees a couple times just by bumping my knee against the mat while getting on the side guard. And then my pinky was completely dislocated. And it's just like I barely could walk properly without I couldn't walk without painkillers for 4 months.
If you're gonna do MMA, you have to learn BJJ to a certain.
Sure, yeah.
It's unavoidable. But I would never use BJJ on the street, for instance, because you're not, you don't know if you're fighting wrong. So people might shoot
Yeah.
you in the head while they're trying to do a little walk.
She does boxing. Why downgrade to BJJ? I mean, no offense, but boxing, as much as I enjoy watching BJJ, boxing to me is way more. Boxing is like a gentleman's sport. It has a longer, well, I mean, maybe not exactly longer history. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu also has quite a long, interesting history, but boxing, I don't know, more of the boxing girl. So, all right. Okay, so this back. Okay. I like to keep my hands in front of me because I can always get them here, close them off, catch the punch. So it's like boom, 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 and push in, boom, boom, boom. Going too light now. I usually like to be more closed off. Pump, 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 pump. Usually things like jab, then you go, let's say, uppercut or hook to the stomach, or I don't know, just something on the right, and then left hook, front hook, or well, left hook, because most of people are right-handed, has the highest rate of the knockout rate throughout the punches. So people mostly get knocked out by left hook, because it's like, you know, you would do 1, 2, like to the stomach first, and then boom, full inertia. So it's like, as I said, boom, pull it, boom, boom. Obviously you can finish it up and stuff like that. We've already started training too. Conditioning is priority. Running, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, exercise to strengthen the neck. Set your endurance is must. Don't let your body fail you. Yeah, that's a good point. But the methods developed, the science on that topic gets more complex. So it also matters how you train. You kind of can focus on the same stuff, but do it through different approaches, repetitions, set amount, rest period, periodizations throughout the week, and you can have a better or the worst result. So science is quite strong on that. And guys, use AI tools, use research, look into the best strength approaches and best endurance and the cardiovascular VO2 max training approaches. Like, don't just follow old school just because someone told you to do this specifically. Oh, this is the best, that worked best for me. There are actually controlled studies, randomized studies, and science on the certain topics that shows no, this approach is by margin is the best for that aspect or this aspect. So this is how I look at it. This is how we look at it. And this is also what I'm sharing my training. Like, I'm not getting overtrained. And my point is not to show you, I'm not a David Goggins. I'm not going to show you, do 1,000 punches and then go like do 1,000 sit-ups. No, that's not the way I'm training. That's not the way we are training. Okay? It's a combination of a lot of old school foundation and ground with the combination with the new research, new science, and creating a better efficiency. Also, you know, there's differences between men and women, so even there's slightly different parameters. How, as much the training movements and techniques are pretty much the same for men and women, like what they learn and how they learn it. There's certain differences within the nutrition, there are differences with periodization, recovery periods, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, I'm just encouraging you guys, as much as you mentioned that, yeah, conditioning is the most important, strength, yada yada yada. Also, what approach works the best, right? And well, what does prove that it's the best? That's nice. Back punch, good for uppercuts. Women have the potential to have lots of agility. I think women, women prove that they can be super agile and super great. I think the best the best example is not even boxing. If you look at the gymnastics 70 years ago and now, like Simone Biles, for example, and I don't watch much gymnastics, but sometimes I meet the highlights. If you see, yeah, men's and women's gymnastics, there's certain things that women are better actually, so there's things that are definitely men better. That's why even sports gymnastics are slightly different. So there are certain differences in the certain movements and disciplines. But the development, just if you compare women to 70 years ago, they are standard for gymnastics, and you know all these things that, oh, women cannot run marathons. We're not talking about pregnant. We're talking about just non-pregnant women still cannot run marathons because this is gonna damage their cardio, their reproductive health, all that kind of stuff. So the opinions on women being very fragile. Now, a lot of sports, a lot of improvement, like drastic improvement, shows that women can improve very progressively and very significantly and achieve very impressive results. The point is, just don't compare men and women. You don't have to. It's actually even easier. Like, let me tell you that. And if there is any women, yeah, you don't want to go as a professional boxer, even if you're Katie Taylor. You don't want to go same level or higher level male boxer who is your weight class, because he's going to destroy you. But if you are a Katie Taylor level of boxer, if you can't do 15 pull-ups, if you can't do this and that, guess what? You're already in 0.0 something% out of the population. Yes, they're definitely going to be stronger and better men in that field, which you just shouldn't compete with. You just shouldn't be in the same weight class and category. But there are also so many other people you are actually excelling over. So yeah, it's just about, it was comment regarding women excelling. If you, as I said, if you compare 70 years ago female sport, and if you compare now, you have a woman that first woman who finished the Berkeley Marathon. She was like a fifth finisher, and that sometimes there are years that no one finishes that, like none of them, like not males, not no one. You have women who set certain world records, and as much again, we don't compare it to men's records, but it's super impressive comparing what it was 10, 20, 30, 70 years ago. So girls, keep working, keep creating your best self, and don't listen to anyone. If someone tells you why you're doing it, you're still not going to be better than someone else. Well, you just want to be better than yourself today at this moment. You just want to keep getting better. You just want to have that goal, keep striving, being on the level where you're in the having people like-minded community of the same people who think the same way, and yeah, just leave on that level. You know, some people just are they developed into something that they just want to leave and challenge themselves, and always constantly challenge themselves to get better. So there's nothing wrong with that, and no one never listen, both men, girls, boys, older people, younger people, kids, never listen to others who tell you, oh, why you're doing that, because they never gonna do it. You are the one who's gonna do it. Okay, I'm more striking heavy. I think they don't wrestle that much. I mean, it depends. I mean, the wrestling is different. In women's, if you're talking about MMA, there are certain interesting stuff that you're never gonna see in the men's MMA because it's more dangerous. But like if you watch the Dern versus Jandiroba fight, Dern, that very cool double leg kick, she was just like pushing her away, and that was quite pretty. And then she would get up. That was cool. Come on, and you don't see that in the male MMA just because, well, in there it just works a little bit differently. But no, it was, even though at that fight it wasn't, but they are quite wrestlers. And well, Ronda Rousey period was pad work, time for the pad work. Well, Ronda was the one who was crushing on the, that Maigiri throw and judo and the armbar queen and all that kind of stuff. So But yeah, I think I could agree that women keep it more in stance, most of them. I guess you're right. I'm not so sure though. There's happy. I find that entertaining women's rugby is fun too. Yeah, cool. I mean, it's great that some people watch women's sports. I mean, they're not as popular, except fighting. Fighting, I think, getting more and more popular in women. Like women fighting is getting more popular. Wrestling as well. Team sports also gradually. I think volleyball is one of the most popular because they're like stunning girls, but they're also playing well and it's beautiful to watch. Tennis, I would say, tennis is watchable. But again, sport is still sport, and I just wish more people would just watch the sport. Different type of sport. Chris, babe, do you want to do a little pat on the thing or no?
No, it's fine. You do your. I'm literally just gonna train my whole kick.
Okay. Okay.
You don't want to hold fast.
Yeah, not for kicking, for sure. I cannot hold his pads for kicking. Okay, but since I'm not holding pads for Chris yet, I'm just gonna do a little bit more work on the heavy bag. Just looking at the. Okay. So one thing I want to practice more, and well, I'm gonna help the coach. Gonna help me with that, and I'm gonna try to. Well, if I have an opportunity to spar, because this guy is quite small. He actually was almost my size, so I think he could be a great sparring partner for me too, as the coach, just to help me to get better. And there's certain things that I want to try, which is like, for example, jab, bum, bum, just push in. So you kind of like bump, 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 just in, or hop in, right under the arm, and then you can go bump, bump, bump. You don't even have to be clinched in. It's more about kind of like sneak in, bump, bump, then bump, bump, bump. I'll try to go a little bit faster. Too far. But yeah, anyways. Favorite boxer? Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Manny Pacquiao, out of the modern ones. Terence Crawford went up after beating Canelo, like boxing wise and like personality wise in many ways. One of the prominent ones to me. Well, Canelo. I've been watching Canelo since like a Triple G. When I was 15, I think that was the first, actually when I started boxing, and I remember that was a big deal for us. So the trilogy, I remember that was a big deal in our gym. Triple G, Ukrainian Lomachenko, and Usyk. But yeah, that's. I haven't mentioned him at all, I think, but I like Deontay Wilder, but not only necessarily like he incredible power, but more like for his story. You know what I mean? So same as in MMA. When the people ask me, what is your favorite MMA fighter? I can tell you a few, like Georgian fighters and Poatan, but then I'm like, oh, but I like this guy too, and I like that girl too, and it's just on and on and on, because I like the sport itself, and I like all those people with the story, with the charisma, the character, and yeah, that's basically it. Women are getting more and more exposure for these achievements in sports. It is good to see. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely for women's sports. And as much as sometimes people think that I have like conservative thoughts, but look at me. I'm a boxer myself. Like look at me. Look at my shoulders. You know, like in Georgia, a lot of guys are like, oh, you have bigger shoulders than me. You know, sometimes they don't even joke about it. As much as again, there's certain things I'm just gonna tell you that women and men should not compete in the same categories. They like trans women no way, like that shouldn't happen. But at the same time, I'm absolutely for women sport liberation, educational liberation, achievements, and the fair achievements, the ones they didn't cry and moan about, and they were actually ones, oh, okay, give me that challenge. You want me to prove myself even more because I'm a woman? Oh, I'll give it to you, because this is how it should be. We all go through challenges. And yeah, if you go to a male-dominated field, obviously, there might be a little bit of the looks to your side, but that should be something that motivates you, not something that you cry about. That's my personal opinion. So I'm absolutely for women's sport liberation. Totally support it. But at the same time, less crying, less moaning, less bitching about it, more of the, you know, we got our stuff. We have absolute right to be stronger, be not only physically stronger, but mentally stronger. And you know what? Because one day, most of us gonna want to be mothers or are already mothers, and we want our children to have strong mother together as a strong father. You know what I mean? So it takes a strong person to find the right match, build up something instead of destroying something, have that discipline of mind, being able to pass it on their children. And you can see that in a lot of athletes. You can see in a lot of great athletes. And if you take women who was the judo, I think she was a French judoka and one of the world champions, one of the best ones in the world in her weight class. She gave a birth, and she came in the last Olympics. They had a nursing room for kids, which is, I think, adorable, and I think it should be there. Why not? And she had her child with her, and she won another gold medal. Like, what is more empowering than that? You will be one of them. We'll see. I mean, if I'm not one of them on the, you know, like the record or boxing record, I'm just willing to keep growing my platform and just, you know, motivate some other little girls, kids, some men. Doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter to me who you are, where you come from, as long as you are a person sharing same values, thriving, wanting to get better, wanting to challenge yourself, responsible and accountable, and you know, all those qualities, you're welcome. And you know, me and my husband want to grow that community, grow this channel for the same purposes, so we can broadcast more of that in the world. Chris says most people don't know about nothing about fighting, and low kick from someone who knows is going to take out most normal people. Yes, and low kicks are no fun.
Also, my point being also is like, if you're my fucking size and you start hitting people in the head.
Yeah, look at Chris. Look,
like,
just I don't think you ever seen.
Like 95 and 100 kills. And I know how to hit.
Just give me a second. I don't think anyone ever saw. Like,
my point being is like, okay, if it's really bad, I don't want to start hitting people, but most likely, if I do step into a low kick, it's going to dissuade most people to fuck with you.
Yeah, like,
and you're also in a position where you can then look around, see what's happening. If they have friends around, then you're ready from all angles.
Yeah.
Whereas a teep, for instance, which is you're completely out of balance. If you start wrestling, you're all the way down on the ground.
Yeah, I don't want to end up in the ground.
And if his friend is there, he's just gonna kick you in the skull.
Let's be honest, most of people do hands, and the second one is something like if someone knows how to do the leg, full.
Knee or take out.
Okay, go away. Don't get carried away. Go away.
I'm just saying, it's like you have to think a little bit about not just the fact that you're gonna win the match, like get out of the fight.
Yeah.
but not also to kill people, because people.
Sure, that's a good. Exactly, that was
the
much.
on the ground, hit their head.
That is a little tips about the street fight. But babe, can you come in a second today here? Can it come in a second? I just want to show you because you're a taller person. So there was one thing I was doing, and I'm not gonna punch you or something. Not like so. Like, okay, imagine it's a shorter person. I just want to show you a little bit of how high difference. Obviously, if there is as tall as him, and we're not talking about street fight, it's just boxing, you're in trouble, no matter what I do. But let's say just boxing technique. So he's a big guy. As long as it's boxing and not wrestling, and you kind of just lift me up and throw me away. So, like for example, I do, and you come at me. I want to get in here, and I want to come like that. Okay? So I'm not punching. I just like kind of. I can like hold because there is no knees.
Most likely, I'm also going to try to keep my distance by.
And I do bum. Yes, this is the most nightmare position for you because you have obviously no, but you cannot do it as good as me. Because you have long hands. That's one thing I was doing on the back and just wanted to show a little bit. Obviously, against him, I wouldn't have any real chances. But still, guys like Chris, even if we do technical sparring, sometimes it's actually a good thing to work with the bigger guys and just let them. Some of them actually can work fast and not hard, which is good. And you can do that. You can practice getting and laying under. It has its own benefits and stuff. So, yeah, why not? Okay. Okay, what? Then no, you don't get selected for benefits of the goal, but no cost. Bullshit. That's not good. It's no promoting that. Listen, could you beat an average man? She isn't woke. She is traditional and knows that she can beat most men. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this way. If someone tries to attack me, I'm gonna use the most, adrenaline gonna kick in. I'm gonna do everything to escape. But escape is not gonna be only, like, if someone tries to grab me, I'm gonna try to, like, just sleep under, and I'm gonna kick to the nuts, maybe kick couple elbows because of the skill that I've been working in here, so it might be automatic, and then just run away. So I'm kind of like a little, those beetles that if you try to touch, they're gonna bite you, like toe biters. There is the beetle, like water beetle, and they also fly, creepy things. They can bite your toe. So this is, imagine girls like me being like that. And I'm not that big. They're bigger women. There was I think it was Penna. There was the one UFC fighter, female, who actually manhandled the robber who tried to rob her, and she called like 911 or something. And there was another guy was Gagey, who also, the guy put the gun on his head, and Justin Gagey just kicked his ass. So that skill set, you cannot say that that it cannot do anything. It still makes the difference between people who have that skill set acquired through years or who don't. But at the same time, the biggest skill set these people have is they understand the danger. They actually understand their abilities and capabilities. And when they know they cannot do anything, they try to avoid that situation. For example, if there are many people, you cannot, no matter if you're John Jones or Pereira, if you're 1 against 10, what can you do? Nothing. Essentially, you're just gonna manhandled by 10 people. If you're a woman, as much as you might be Amanda Nunes and the best fighter, but you have 2-3 guys trying to get you, it's better to run from there and, just get to the safe space rather than try to fight them. So it's like, I think fighters have that alerted understanding of actual trouble. They're not delusional. Yeah, my husband is one of the moderators. Are you Orthodox or Southpaw? I'm Orthodox, so this is the left hand, but sometimes I switch the stance and I do like a left cross just for that movement, and it works in my case. So I'll show you. I don't need gloves anymore, but I don't need gloves anymore, but I'll show you the movement. So I'm like, bam, bam. Maybe I'm close here. Maybe like in the pro boxing happens sometimes for weight. And all I do is just do the little switch. So if you look at my feet, I'm just like, bam. And it works good with the southpaws, because southpaws hate working with the southpaws because they're rarely matched unless they really train with someone who is southpaw, which I think people should do. I think orthodox should have southpaw sparring partners too, as much they're rare. Try to find someone who they can work with. In my case, I actually still have my friend. She's just not here. She's in Belgium. She's actually in their national team now there, also from Georgia. She's a southpaw. So the best experience with a woman I had with her. She's super good boxer, but she's also southpaw. It was a nightmare to work with her, but I learned a lot. But now what I would try to do with her, I would be like, boom, and she would try to punch. She would try to catch me with the left cross, which is fine. That's her style. She would do like, bum, bum. This is her style, like, bum, 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 bum. Like this is, she's like, you know, kind of that type of boxer. I would be like, bum, okay, bum, and all of a sudden I'm switching, and I'm leaning different directions. So her cross comes in, slips in fully, so I'm in the fully protected from this position. And that one, like a not left cross, but more like an overhead, slips in. Tried it a couple times, it worked a couple times. I'm not saying it works in all situations, but it could be some little candy that, why not, you know? Especially as much as I'm not really feeling my right jab, I'm not really like this hand as the jab at this point is useless. I really need to train to get like a shapeshifter. However, when I try this, when I switch, boom, this works very natural because my right jab got developed throughout the years. Now, as the cross, as the overhead, it actually works. I feel control, and I feel like, gotcha moment. So why not? This is something that I tried once, and I'm willing to try more. You're the dude who was just practicing sparring. If you're talking about my husband, just my husband, I just showed some thing that I was practicing on the back. Today, no sparring. Are you the same girl who needs to change direction? I don't think. I don't think so. I believe female and male are equal body structurally. Males predominantly, but big and small, it can go both ways. Well, unfortunately, it's not exactly true. I mean, obviously, if you take a Gavi Garcia size of woman on steroids, and if you take a tiny Vietnamese guy, sure. But no, there is a difference in bone density. There is a difference in muscle density. Women, on average, even the eject man versus eject woman, at 25% less muscle mass we have, and that is a big disparity. And you could see some experiments, like there was a bodybuilder women against just non-trained guys who were doing how it's called, construction work, just the construction building dudes. And there's some things, I think a couple things that those ladies, bodybuilder ladies, won in the certain competitions, but like arm wrestling, for a lot of things, men just without trying, because higher testosterone levels, higher bone density, and higher muscle density, they're just born that way. They're just evolved that way. And what can we do? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Men are vital, men are needed, and men are like the backbone of the society and infrastructure. And as much as we say we need women and we also need men, so it's like, you know, we need both. But no, men are stronger, and one of the reasons why they're backbone of society, why they are 99% of the all heavy labor, mining, like the commercial diving, like underwater, underground infrastructure maintenance, are mostly men. And I truly respect women, like those fraction of percent of women who do that, but rather by their will or by the need, and they're strong enough to pull it off, and they, do that job. But it's just such a small amount, right? So those numbers just tell the truth. But I do believe that men and women both can learn. I don't think there is as much as, yes, there's brain function different, there are hormonal fluctuation differences between men and women, and as much we have cycles, and it can disorient us sometimes, and in the period times it's hard, it can get hard. But at the same time, the average IQ between men and women shown that it's same. So the IQ is the learning capacity. So the average men and women can learn both. The genius side is more men, but they're also women too. It's not like, oh, it's 0% women. No, there are more percentage of women relative to a physical labor numbers. But again, it's also not because women, they're not like women are more stupid or something. There are less women who are ambitious and they're brilliant but also ambitious. There are very smart women who still prefer to raise their children, be more at home. Like that was mine. But anyways, just saying that, talking a little bit those kind of topics, but this is just, it's kind of not my opinion necessarily. I'm trying to base my opinion on certain facts that can be double checked, and when you put an ego away and when you just don't take it on yourself, like if most of women don't want to do pull-ups, be strong, and they just are interested in other stuff, well, and you do, like it doesn't mean that you have to be like, that's what I'm saying, it doesn't matter who you are, man or woman, even though we have our tendencies, even though we have our own tendencies, you still, it's up to you what you choose. And that's why I love people who are diverse. I love people who are thinking out of the box, and they just pursue things they're good at, they love, they have passion about, they can create value for others, and that really goes beyond a gender or anything else to me. You get a boyfriend, I have a husband, which is here in the chat. Sorry for ranting, guys. I'm pretty much done with my training, so I'm just talking, I'll follow more in the chat. Yeah, my husband says, and I agree with him, eye pokes are bullshit. 17% of fighters do 64% of the eye pokes. Yeah, and that's not a mistake, that's just an intentional bad habit that just, oh, let me just do it and maybe get away with it. If that was punished well enough, and I think they're making some changes in UFC now, then I think all of a sudden that number would decrease. $31-0. Well, good for you, my friend. Really good. She does, and we'll go pro soonish. Yes, they should have proper gloves to prevent eye poke. It's not about the, as I said, numbers. Most of people don't even eye poke. Most of fighters don't do that in the UFC, meaning that it's not the glove problem, it's a certain scumbag problem.
Statistics are 14% of the fighters, or 17%. Do like 64% of the eye pokes, which means it's part of the technique and the goal.
Yeah.
And we all know who they are, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, what you want me to hold fast for you? Yeah. Here or yeah, okay. Okay.
I'm rusty, just a little bit of warm-up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do we're just gonna do whatever you feel comfortable. Yeah, well, let's do 1-2.
I do like to switch a little bit.
Let me just get warm up myself, so it's just jab, like 2-2, 1-2. Okay, jab again, down, boom, cross, boom, good. Okay, 1-2, 1-2. Okay, now do 1-2-3, switch, boom, hook, like you were doing, okay? Slowly, 1-2-3, switch, boom, boom, good. Okay, so bump, 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 bump. Nice, yeah. Pump, 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 pump. Okay.
One more time.
Pump, 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 pump. Good. Good job. Yeah. It's more. You're more lighter now on the feet. That's good. Okay. What's the saying to you? Very interesting life. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia. Can I get water? Yeah. What time is it? Okay. Getting some water. I love women who can fight. I love them too. What's the tattoo in between your chest? It's actually, it's a rose, and that's and a sword. So it's the same comes from the Rose Tattoo song, which is actually Irish, the Dropkick Murphys song. One of my favorite songs. I don't know, it just like went to my heart, and at that time I just decided to get that tattoo. The rose tattoo, and the rose tattoo, I got your name written here, and a rose tattoo. So it's yeah, quite an inspirational song to me. Do you even aim to box in England? Sounds amazing. Oh yeah, why not? My first place where I would get the first steps and first fights, I think it's in Southeast Asia, whether in Vietnam or Thailand, and start from the my level to get upgrade and get better gradually. And UK is quite a high level. UK level is high. Europe level pro boxing, female pro boxing is like quite a high level. So after that, after I get that experience, get that flow and sense and comfort and good confidence in myself, being able to hold against the pressure and challenge myself against better and better female boxers, then I would do Europe, because I know Europe is way better competition-wise at this point than Southeast Asia. You still can find very good ones in Southeast Asia as well, and there are lots of super strong Muay Thai female fighters, but they usually do Muay Thai. Boxing is kind of like a little bit for the softies, because who don't like to get kicked in their legs and like elbows and knees. So yeah, I don't think boxing is as popular as Muay Thai, but you still can find some good boxers there. But then gradually, yeah, Europe would be like the next step. And well, I know UK technically after Brexit is not Europe, but we Georgians kind of are used to calling it that way. What do you think about Topuria? I mean, he's a Georgian fighter. I respect him hugely because of so far what he's been saying, he's doing it. And I'm very excited to see what is next for him. I think he's fighting with Paddy, which I cannot wait for him to kick Paddy the baddie's ass. No offense, but they have some beef, and well, we Georgians have some beef with him. As much, I actually like Paddy in some ways. I think he's not a bad guy. He's like a family dude, and there's certain things that make sense that he said. But he also said that Georgian people are stupid. I understand why Russians bombed them in 2008, and this is one of the most, this is like a personal for every Georgian. So that's why Ilya tried to punch him in the hotel. And yeah, so that is like a personal beef between those two. Is it wrong to start martial arts like at age 34? I'm 35 from northern Syria. I play street fighting. Well, it's better to start martial arts than do street fighting. And look up this guy whose name is Paul Reed. He's MMA fighter who started at 35, and he fought until he was 50, and he had quite a good record, and he's quite inspirational till this point. He's still training, he's still in shape. I think he's 56 now, and I had like a short dialogue with him on Instagram. Again, very inspirational person. So yeah, it's possible, and I think it's better to do it in a sport, more controlled environment rather than the street. This logo, I think. Well, this is not Trang Fortune Night. What martial art logo was that? It was from something from the Bruce Lee movie or something. You were saying? This logo we're talking about.
I'm not sure if the end of the dragon is something. I think it's a pretty generic, like. Ask Al.
Okay, yeah, I'll ask him later. I'm from Pakistan. Pakistan, love you. You're famous here. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Anyways, guys, yes. So, well, there's a group now going. So I just wanna move a little bit so I don't mess with people here. But yeah, feel free to ask questions for a little bit more now since I'm here. I'm doing well. Had a good training. Getting back. The main focus is stamina and endurance. That is like a main focus because I have quite a bit of experience. I know how to punch. I know how to defend. As much as it's not perfect. There are certain things to work on, and I'll pay my time to it, my attention to it, like in a reasonable amount of time. But the main thing is endurance and stamina and cardio. So that's why I started doing like outdoor sprints. I do like boxing bag burnouts, and I'm gonna make it harder and harder and harder. Now I did like 10 rounds, but 30-second rounds and 30-second rest, and I did like that 10 times. I'm gonna go faster, then I'm gonna switch. I do 20-20s, then I go longer pacings. Gonna add some treadmill and VO2 max training as well. And yeah, basically that's the main focus at this point for whoever is interested. Double dragon. How can I improve my punching power? Well, power comes through the technique. So it's called creating speed through velocity. I can show you the technique, but for the strengths, the generic strengths, or so-called relative strengths, meaning relative strength to your body, the ability to be able to lift your body, to push against your body and all that kind of stuff. For that, you need to do strength-oriented resistance training. So you need to start lifting weights or do some sort of weight-assisted calisthenics, like pull-ups, dips, well, maybe squats, maybe, it depends. There are many exercises, pardon me. I would do like quarter squats with the heavier weights and less than 5 repetitions, and with a longer rest in between, 4 or 5 sets. I would do, I'm just telling you the choices of the exercises. Why not? Pistol squats. That's not that easy, so you can even start with the body weight. With the pull-ups, the weight-assisted pull-ups, if you already can do a lot, you drop it down to 5, so you add extra weight on your waist. Same with the dips. Not incline, but the landscape pushes are good. So when you have the barbell there and you push, go down, push, go down, those are good. So if you can organize that exercise, but then you do that separately at least once a week. And when you evolve, like you add up the weights, you get stronger, you increase relative strength gradually. Then when you have the days on boxing and you work, and let's say you don't have cardio day, nothing, you just want to learn that technique. You need to learn how to explode, create the explosive momentum, like boom, boom. So you see, I'm not just doing boom. Obviously I can do just with a hand, but it's not enough. When I learn how to do power punches, I need to learn how to generate it through starting from my feet, my knee, my hip rotation, and then ending up with the punch, and then following on the back punch. Rather, this is orthodox punch, this is southpaw, the camera is flipping. So you want to learn how to do, after you learn how to do technique, right, with all the rotation, you want to do, boom, learn it from, try to create that momentum as fast as possible. Pats? Okay. Okay. Another pad work. seconds. Whew. Okay, jab. Good. 2. Boom, boom. Okay, let's do jab, cross, sleep, cross. Remember? Jab, cross, other side, sleep, cross. Okay, slow. 1, 2, 3. Other side.
1,
2. Yes, exactly. Pull that hand.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Again. Boom, 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 boom. Exhale when you punch. One more. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, relax, relax. Shoot. Boom. Jab. Okay. Jab. 2. 1, 2. Jab. Hook. Uppercut. Shorter hook, okay? Jab, hook, uppercut. Good. Jab, hook, uppercut. Jab, hook, uppercut. You know what? You can add jab, hook, uppercut because you finish that one. You can do the same thing.
Yeah, but
Okay. Just try slower, okay? 1, 2, 3. Bump, bump. Yeah, same thing. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, one more. Boom, 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 boom. Good, good job. Yeah. Are you half Irish? No, I'm not. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. We're in the Trang, yes, that's true. Oh yeah, the movie is called Double Dragon. The logo is similar, yeah, because I remember you mentioned it or someone in the chat previously. Oh, you got speed? Yep, well, he also learns some stuff. Girl, you look like you could be in the next street fighting movie. I wouldn't mind to join and cast in the, that type of movie. I love action movies. Damn. Yes, this is a daily life. I hold pat for this guy, and I think that makes me stronger too. Because I don't know, I have like when I learn how to kind of lock off that power, and because what I do is it's a pure technique. It's not the strength. I don't need that much strength for it. Obviously, it takes a little bit of energy over time the longer I do, but I can do that for quite long. Like we've done like half an hour pad work and stuff. And what I do, it's like, how we call that? Like what is the game when you catch each other like this, right? So what you do, you basically block their kinetic energy passing through. Like it's, whoever knows physics, you will understand better. But basically what I do, if I just stop it rigidly, it's gonna just boom, throw it away. But when I just meet it and I just do, and I don't need, like a lot of people, some people do pads like this. I don't need to. One great man taught me how to hold, how he was holding fast. He would just like, that's it. That's the movement. It's just about learn how to time it, and basically becomes like a game. And when you train, you do different combos, and it just getting better and better. You really know how to fight. Well, at least I know how to hold pads. That's for sure. That was nice. For combination for practice. Well, the combo we just did was jab, cross, sleep, and you can go step back or sleep. It's fine. Like as long as you weave that punch, straight punch, and then you go cross. So you do like bum, 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 bum. You can end up with the left hook. You can always add up more punches, but usually you do 2-3 punchers at the max. And in the boxing, it's a good habit to always leave that left hand, at least in the amateur boxing. But even if you don't punch it, you just kind of leave it, right? So you would do like 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, for example. That's a good combo to practice. Fight Muay Thai? Not really. My legs are soft. They can hop around, but for kicks, even when I was doing karate, I realized that that's not really my thing. When did you start boxing? It was long ago, like 10 years ago. Can you say your height and weight? 161 or 5'2" feet? And
141.
He's joking. He's like, isn't it enough that you're already taller, like that much taller than me? I'm like a 65 kilograms right now.
You're not 65 kilograms, maybe you're 56 kilograms.
Oh yeah, sorry, 56, yeah. not 65.
Math is so difficult.
Do you know any kicks? Well, actually, I can show you something because I actually know how to do kicks. I'll just do it slowly, but like basically, oh, hold on. Because I was doing karate, so it's like bum, bum, body kick and head kick. It's not, again, I almost don't do it anymore because I don't try to wear off my legs too much since my focus is boxing. I also don't want to mess with the class, that's why I'm moving away. So I know how to do kicks. I can explain technique and I can actually teach how to do that, but at the same time, again, even now I did it, I'm feeling it like a little bit of an old lady. Okay, so we have a combo here. Okay, so we have jab, cross, sleep, pump, 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 pump. Again, I already have a habit to kind of throw the front hand, or in my case left, as the last punch. So again, it goes forward. But yeah, you can just boom, boom, finish. And when you learn how to press your opponent, or you have that situation you already created, they're tired and they're in the corner against the ropes. This is where you can do all of the pump, 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 pump. Don't let them out. Da, 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 da. You've seen that, right? So, the pump. Then you can like do almost like a pick hunting, or as I actually thought about it now, a mantis effect, like a picking like a mantis, right? So you can do that. First time see beauty with biceps. I think I actually have a bigger shoulders than biceps. My biceps is not that big, but it's okay because I actually don't straight much hypertrophy, so I'm not doing like a lot of repetitions. I would rather do like a push slowly down, and I would choose the way to do less than 5 repetitions. But trust me, that develops strength better. So it doesn't really grow muscles that much, and that's good. I don't really look that big, but that creates, it makes me stronger for my weight class. And again, the more my relative strength gets developed, let's say now I can do 5 pull-ups, but if I learn how to do 5 pull-ups with the extra 10 kgs, that means that gonna impact my relative body strength. Just checked out her page. She gets freaky. LOL, I wouldn't have guessed at all. Well, I think he came in when we were just doing pad work.
What?
I think this guy came into the live stream right the moment we were doing pad work.
What did you say?
I was talking about freaky stuff. I mean, that was, for some people, that might be freaky. Have you ever trained jiu-jitsu? Yes. I don't think I would have the punch to a woman even if it's sparring. I understand that. There is not a problem. But I think the longer you would stay in the, like if you train where it's like a mix and it's all of your friends and you see that it's a gym where the culture is of the light sparring, like Talent is a good example. In Muay Thai gyms, they spar extremely light. They actually do techniques. And that's why they can pair women with men, and it's actually quite fun. And then you learn, you're not punching them, but you learn how to snap it a little bit, you know? And you do that on shoulders, you do that on stomach. Sometimes you just extend that head, just create an obstacle for them. Obviously, if a woman is way smaller, you gotta work with her that way. I think that is my role, skipping role. You think so? No, the blue one, maybe I lost, because I thought I lost it. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. Then I thought, no, I had it in Georgia. I remember now. Show the chest tattoo. It's a rose with the sword, and it's the reference for the tattoo is the Dropkick Murphys Rose Tattoo song.
How much was the up there?
500,000, yeah, like it. Yeah. Come finished. Jab, pam, cross, pam, pam, sleep. pam, 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 finish. Okay, that's a good question. Why do boxers like hug in the middle of the game? Because they're tired. It's called clinching. When they're paced off, they just clinch in, and especially both of them are tired. That's what happens. If one is tired, they're gonna try to clinch, but you're still gonna try to wear them off. And clinching itself also is quite tiring. It's almost like a little wrestling, like an upper body wrestling. So yeah, I would just say that happens where both boxers really put everything they had in the earlier rounds, and in the later rounds they're just like in a close distance, clinching, and they just try to get this chance to land more punches, and they just try to push it through. And at that point, it's about who's gonna be slightly better. But you've seen some fights. There's some fights where there were even knockouts after those points. There were even so it's not necessarily a boring moment. Sometimes that clinching means that now it's like everything is on stake, and we'll see who's gonna go, who's gonna put the best, who's gonna end up the best. And sometimes, as I said, it can end out in a knockout, unexpected knockout. Isometrics. Isometric training is the static training, because we calisthenics. So I mean isometric. I didn't mention isometric. That's why I'm a little bit. Там на русском кто-то разговаривает. Yes, there is a guy who's doing the group. I think he's doing both in English and Russian, but there are some guys who are Russian speaking and some Vietnamese. So yeah, they train. Yeah, now he's counting in English. What accent is that? Just generic English. I learned English when I was 20, guys, by myself. So I did my best to make it as generic as possible. But I'm from Georgia originally. I know Russian fluently, so I think those two languages have an impact. Why are you showing that? My tattoo? Well, because you cannot see anything else except the tattoo. If that was placed differently, and if I didn't have, obviously I wouldn't do that if I have the whole, like a dress or long t-shirt on me. But when I have the top, it just literally takes a little pull to show the tattoo. I don't know. It's just something that I don't have a problem with. Neither my husband, who is right in front of me. Okay. Knocked out your attention. Understood. That's a good one. Good line. Okay. All of you guys are funny. I can give you that. What's your age and name? My name is Diana, and I'm 25 years old. Have you ever lost an exchange? Boxing exchange? Oh yeah, of course, but not in official fights. I had 5 official fights in amateur, according to IBA. Open ring sparring, yes, I have lost. I have won exchanges and I have lost exchanges. That's kind of how it is. Yeah. Okay. Someone was asking about the class, huh? Yeah. Chris just grabbed the thing and showed you class. Okay, hi, can you please help me? I'm a bit confused. I want to start fighting. I'm FEMA who suffered sacral joint inflammation in the past. It's healed, but sometimes while long sitting, I feel a little pain. Well, I can tell you that when you, if you're not training at this point and your lifestyle is stagnant, it's not good for your joints. It's not good for, I mean, joints are like depleting assets of the body. Unfortunately, the bone structures, rather you move or you don't move, there is always a risk of getting damaged. That's why like the marathon runners have usually ruined knees and this and that. But it's way better to go train, build up your muscle mass, get stronger. Also, you can do boxing and learn the skill set. Get the supplements, eat well, like get your both supplements. Yeah, nutrition and supplementation combined, hydration.
So hydration is probably the most important.
By the way, can I get the water? Baby, finish. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I'm just saying, like, home stuff is usually, unless you have surgeries and stuff, it's all preemptive.
Yeah.
Once you have the injury, it's very hard to get rid of.
Yeah, but it also inflammation. If that was medically cured, which is good because, well, it can come back. But the point is, you still do a lot of prevention, and there are certain things. That's why a lot of people with a completely ruined joints, they still continue training. Why? Because it still makes them feel better. Yeah, sometimes they gotta have to do surgeries, but well, in that case, you don't have a choice. So I would suggest you to, if not directly fighting, and doing like all those kicks, you still need to talk to doctor. You still need to talk to the coach, explain your past injury, explain that like history of your injuries and like your lifestyle generally. But I would definitely recommend you to start, and don't start only from any martial art. I would recommend start boxing, especially depends if you want to do fighting professionally. That's a little bit different. I would still suggest to you to try different classes. Try kickboxing, try boxing, try Muay Thai. Those are usually friendly, especially amateur classes. There's no one's gonna beat you and hurt you and anything like that. So you will see what you like more, and then talk to the coach. If you realize that you're getting good at it, you want to pursue it, as I said, you need to combine that practice with the resistance training. You need to make yourself stronger, your muscle stronger. Then it's gonna just make you. It's just gonna make you better at it. Okay. So I hope you started. Don't fear about it. Obviously, you can always double check with doctor if you have any other issues, but also talk to the coach. They also have some basic knowledge with the things how to work. With strength and conditioning, those usually the rehab courses. They take the base, so they have some base knowledge on how to do the trauma prevention, making you stronger with preventing your the other injuries too. How are you today, my friends? I'm doing well, thank you. Are you Orthodox Christian? I'm from Orthodox Christian country, but I would say I have my personal belief system, and I just like researching. Right now, I'm actually reading a lot about Hindu culture, Hindu religion. But again, it's just exploring. It's nothing that I worship. I believe in the universe. I believe that there is something, like you can call it God, the universe, an entity, whatever it is. And I believe it has an impact, and I believe in the karma. I believe in the good deeds and the bad deeds. I believe in the positive chain of the events and the negative chain of events and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, as I said, I don't lock myself into a specific preaching because I'm quite practical. I really follow up on science on a lot of things. I like history, archaeological evidence on some stuff, and it's just like I'm quite curious about those things. So I just look at it more. I look at any religion through the philosophical point of view and certain beliefs that I share and certain inherent truths that are okay. This is like I read it in Christianity, but also in Hinduism, but also somewhere else, and somewhere in the paganism. There are like certain common values, which is very interesting. But at the same time, I look at it through historical realm and maybe a political, like human nature, trading of those times. What potentially could happen. So this is kind of the way how I think about it. I'm not really a Christian in that sense. I'm from Christian country, but I don't identify myself as a Christian. Although I share some Christian values for sure. Okay, we showed kickboxing class here. How about Islam versus Charles? He choked him. Yeah, I mean, I love Charles, but Islam is one of the most dominating fighters in the UFC right now, at least in those between like lightweight and we'll see, maybe welterweight. We'll see how it goes with GDM. Buddhism, yes, very interesting too. I was actually watching about documentary how it's like it's way younger than in Hinduism, but also how it was created, how it went in, and there's certain things that Buddha, and he never identified himself as a preacher or God. He was never identified as some like a godly entity or like a chosen one. He was just a Hindu preacher who would he was trying to find the truth, and that developed into his own system. But there are a lot of things from the Hinduism. At the same time, I think the major thing is that Buddhism doesn't necessarily believe into soul as the soul. There is just something like you're part of everything. There's not such you, and the sooner you let go of you, like something as like you identify as you, the more you kind of escape the suffer. That's the way in Buddhism. In Hinduism, it's more of the yes, there is a soul there, and in both they believe in incarnations, and well, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. No problem, no problem. Don't bring the religion in this forum, guys. Martial arts, yes. Well, sometimes we talk about other stuff, but today it's been boxing training, and yeah, usually we talk about martial arts. You do good. We'll take some good to yourself some later. Same with the bad things you do. I agree. Islamists teach that thing also. We just don't call it karma. Yeah, there's some certain things that this idea is like inherent truth is something that is separated, the same or similar idea that is separated by thousands of years and thousands of miles and different cultures and religions and philosophies, but you find the common roots. That's why it's actually good to research and learn and be open to other preachings and religions and philosophies and systems to learn more. Same as the martial arts. I mean, as much as I focus on boxing, it doesn't mean that I'm not open to try to learn and actually understand the technique how Muay Thai works, or wrestling, or kickboxing, or any other martial arts. You know what I mean? Because all of it is the movement, and there's certain common things. There's certain like nuances that is just, I think, like the importance of discipline and consistency and repetitiveness. It goes for every martial art. Not only martial art, everything that you want. You want to learn something, you're gonna have to do that many times, right? So that is inherent truth. You cannot escape it, right? So, yeah. You can elbows touch behind your back. Not my elbows, but I can get my back with my fingers. I'm just checking time. Okay, well, I actually have an online training now in a bit, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up. You're good? Very good speaker also. Thanks you. I don't know, sometimes I rant, but if you enjoy it, my pleasure. Hi from Dublin, you all you beautiful people. Hi, we love Irish people. I'm not Irish. People sometimes think that I'm Irish. I'm not, but I like Irish people. It's straightforward and raw. Can you do splits? I used to do them. I don't do them anymore. Since I started sprinting, I don't need them. Splits are actually not that healthy as people think. Some people have a better physiologically, so it's really it depends on your pelvis shape or your hip joint positioning. That's why for some people it's easier to do splits. Obviously, you can always force it through, but then it's going to be on the cost of your joints. So it's one of the things that I just stopped doing. But okay, friends, well, I gotta wrap it up now. Thank you very much, and well, from now on, back to training. Gonna live stream more of it, and yeah, I see you in the next one. Ciao.